Hi, welcome back to the channel. This week we're going to create a glitchy snare with Vital. The first thing to do obviously is to create the standard snare and then we'll glitch it up afterwards. Clarify though, everything is going to happen within Vital. The glitchiness isn't going to be any other third-party plugins, it's going to be within Vital itself. So with that said, the first thing to do is obviously add a fresh instance of Vital. I will be using a Hitech track for the backing to this. But don't be scared, it's obviously applicable for any track. So with just the Vital track soloed, we have this horrible noise. First thing to do is turn down phase randomization, because we never want that. Then go to basic shapes and we choose the sine wave. Turn the volume down and add LFO 1 to the amplitude. Put that on envelope. Let's do something, let's go 1/4, smooth down. And then we'll draw in a little bit of a shape here. So we get that little kind of a plucky sound. So essentially the sound is made up of two components. The body, or the mid-range part of the sound, will be via the sine wave. And then we have a noise layer that goes on top. That will be the recognizable part to the snare. So let's work on the body first. Now LFO 2, assign that to pitch. We want something quite short. So envelope again. This one, let's make 1/32. You can either do seconds as well if you want. I'm just going to work in beat divisions. So it doesn't really resemble a snare just yet. However, that will change once we add the noise in. So let's add white noise into the sample module, turn the volume down, and then add LFO 3 to the amplitude there. This one, envelope, we do slightly longer. Let's go 1/8, smooth down, and now we draw in the shape of the snare. So now you can hear it starting to get there. Just add a bit of release to that. On the transpose, that should be bipolar, so click on that little dual arrow here. Now we're getting there. Next we can go into the effects. Let's add, so the distortion module. For this one we want downsample. Just a bit of low end cut using the distortion module there also. And next is some reverb. Cut the lows out. Let's listen to that in context with the kick and bass. Again, don't get scared. It's only Hitech, it won't kill you. Right, so that's the basis of the snare. You can play around, you can fine tune some elements just to make that fit better in the track. But the focus of this tutorial is really on the glitch element, so I want to skip ahead to that rather than fine tune the actual snare so much. So now we can duplicate this, just loop a little bit of it, a little one bar section. Just a bit of a random pattern in there. Let's listen to that with the original snare. Alright, now let's glitch it up. Snare, glitch. Right, so this is an exact copy of the one we just created. Essentially, the glitchiness comes from adding a very short delay. So let's turn this down to seconds. We'll just solo just the glitchy snare, play this back. So that's what we'll be modulating. We'll be modulating the delay time there. So let's add random 1 to delay time. Let's also give it a bit of note on random to that delay time. Well, let's put them on feedback. So essentially that's what we'll be modulating. We'll be modulating the frequency and also the feedback. So let's add a random 1 to feedback. Let's also add a note on random to feedback. Turn the start point down a little bit. Put note on random to the frequency also. Not too much. So now we're really getting there. Maybe add a bit of a second random to the distortion, to the downsample. I can also go on a note on random. Let's cut out some lows. We've already done that in the distortion, but let's just cut a bit more out. Also the highs as well. That will just give it a bit more definition, or sorry, a split to the main snare. If we turn the sustain all the way down, and then maybe add a note on random to the decay, so that that closes up. And then just so that they're not following the exact same random every time, let's add a random 3 to that. And then a random 4 to the decay. So now with the other snare we have this. And then obviously mix up the pattern, I don't know, something like that. just at random, obviously. And then with the kick and bass. So there we go, a glitchy snare within Vita with no external processing at all, purely within the synth itself. You know, obviously get creative with creating that pattern, that extra layer. The trick there would be to not have it too often, just the occasional one constantly, just to mix up that groove a bit. In fact, I think I have too many here already. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.